Happy morning, dear friends and masters. Great afternoon, wonderful evening. Dr. Amit Goswami, I was listening to his lecture last time. That was sometime in 2014 or 15. Trying to explain the behavior of what we call matter, which boils down to the subatomic particles called electrons and neutrons in the atoms. And how they are random in existence, and how they can explain some concepts of omnipotence. We know this word, something that exists everywhere. Because the behavior of an electron is random and wavy nature, as I was explaining what we call God. Omnipotent, that exists everywhere, or for the lack of words, consciousness. Some intelligence. So in that lecture, he was talking about some experiments through which one could come to a conclusion that consciousness and the intelligence exists everywhere that you would like to, that you see. Where you see is where it exists. Where you observe is where it exists. Because based on a principle called observation manifests possibilities. An electron is a possibility, and so then it manifests, and it comes into reality through observation. That's the basis for understanding the thoughts and feelings create a fundamental reality. Welcome to our second week of the program. We are understanding how meditation helps us in many ways in our daily life. More particularly, as we go along to understand how it improves our corporate life, our work life. Of course, if it improves life, then it improves work life naturally. Changing a mindset is a big thing. When our mindset changes, how we think and feel changes, then there is, in general, there is a positivity, there is no pressure on the body, so there's no stress, no worries and anxiety because the mindset is changed in many ways. Meditation is helping us to change the mindset. When we change the mindset from disastrous to and negative thinking to a positive and miraculous thinking, when we stop worrying about past, as we understood that meditation, when practiced regularly, slowly, helps us to disengage from the past. When we disengage from the past, then we are moving into the present moment. We stop worrying about things unnecessarily in the present moment. whatever we learn, if they learn something positive and expansive, so their mindset will change to more positive, more expansive mindset. And if observation manifests possibilities, which leads to say that our thoughts create reality. So every time we learn something more positive, every time that is deeply required for us, then we should naturally be creating more positive things in our life. We will understand through science, through quantum physics, some of how our thoughts can create our outer reality. In this experiment, what Dr. Amit Goswami is mentioning is one of the leading quantum physicists. What is mentioning is that in a room, when you keep an electron, release an electron in a room. And so quantum physics found that electrons by default they're both energy and matter. They are energy and matter. They're not just matter as we know of them. But they are a particle, and so they have a weight. And so their particle means that you can see it by default. But however, quantum physics have found that an electron is both energy and matter. It's called wave and matter. We coined the term wavicle. It's wave and matter. The default is an electron is behaving as a wave, that is as energy. When you leave it on its own, then it is showing up as an energy. It's not, you can't see it. It's not particle. An energy is a wave. So when an electron is released in a room and become a wave as an energy, and it becomes particle through observation, through something called double slit experimentation. They have determined that it becomes particle through observation. Observation. When somebody or something is observing an electron to behave certain way, then it behaved that way. Through these experimentations, physicists have found out, for a long time these experiments have been done, since 1915. So an electron by default is behaving as a wave, it becomes particle, by default it's energy, and becomes particle through observation. So this electron is released in this room and it is there as an energy. And technically it can be there anyway because energy is going anywhere and everywhere within the room. It does not show up anyway by default because it's energy. Nobody is observing it. Nobody is looking for it. But when somebody starts looking for it, as an energy, it is a possibility. It can be there anywhere because it moves and it can be there anywhere in the room. As an energy, it becomes a possibility. That means a possibility because it can show up as a particle. But otherwise, an energy is called, in quantum language, in quantum physics language, called possibility. That means it can be there, this side, in front, on the right side, back side, around me, anywhere it can be there. By default, as an energy, it can be there anywhere. Then it becomes called a possibility. Where is it? It can be anywhere. So many possibilities are there. But when somebody observed it, so suppose somebody walks into the room and says, now I'm looking to observe and say, where are you? I'm looking for that electron. Somebody is looking for that electron on this side, and it showed up there. Look for this side, then it showed up there. When you observe, electron becomes matter. Wave becomes particle. Otherwise, it's there anywhere. It exists anywhere and everywhere. When observation, when the process of observation is applied onto it, then it became matter and it showed up there in whichever direction that you looked for it, then it showed up there. That's the way when you take water and you increase the energy, then it becomes vapor. And that vapor at that point can be there anywhere. It need not be there in front if you made it vapor in front. It goes up and then it can go around anywhere in the room. It occupies the room. Technically, it is there. That water become vapor is there. When you apply a process of condensation, then it's got to come down. And where will it come down? It can come down anywhere. With observation, that electron showed up where you expect it to be. You say, this is, I think the electron is this side, and it's showing up there, and this side is showing up here. So then it is random existence, and it exists anywhere and everywhere within that. But where you look for is where you can see. Where you look for is where you see that. So the understanding of omnipotence, that it exists everywhere, that consciousness is there everywhere. And consciousness, that thing that omnipotent is, exists everywhere, but collapses into physicality, and we say, where is God in the childhood? And say, where is it? And say, it's there everywhere, in you, in me, and everywhere. Can you see? And then when you want to see it, then it showed up there. And then in the form of nature, in the form of you and me, in the form of everything. Our observation manifests the existence of this electron into the physicality. And so then quantumists went about finding that everything actually exists as energy. If electron, that is mass that we thought the matter is energy by default, that means everything is energy. Of the subatomic particles are by default energy. And other than subatomic particles, nothing is there in atoms. So then everything is energy. If they are energy, then everything is energy in the entire universe. So what exists is the energy of the consciousness that we give any name. It's called quantum field. And then from that, then through observation, you can bring something into matter, because observation is making it come into physical nature, show up its physical nature. The basis for thoughts and feelings create a reality. The basis for there is existence out there, there is existence that is there everywhere. And you can see it through your observation. You'll know this, understand a little bit more through the experiments that quantum physics have done. Let's go into meditation. Welcome to anybody who joined our second week. We're trying to, we practice a meditation called Ana-Pana-Sati Meditation, a breath mindfulness meditation. When we observe our breath, our mind becomes empty. The goal of this meditation is to empty the mind. We have thousands of thoughts in our mind. But those, particularly when we are stressful, when we're dealing with a lot of things, the thoughts are quite a bit in a given day. Most of them are unwanted, most of them are worrisome, stressful, negative. Most of them, by default, the attention is set on them in the way they've been conditioned environmentally through people around. So our goal here is to empty the mind, to get over all the unwanted thought. And our goal here is also to be in that empty state of mind, be part of what is considered the quantum energy field. And so how do we do it? With our eyes closed, fingers into fingers, hands comfortably in your lap, place in your lap. Cross your feet at ankle and observe your breath. Take any point on the nose as a reference and observe your breath is going in and coming out. You take that posture as you see, and then observe your breath. Breath is going in and coming out, your natural, normal breath. Observe it and observe the breath, mind becomes empty. Our goal is to be in that empty state of mind. As you observe the breath, breath becomes lighter, shorter, thinner, and then mind is also becoming empty. And then as the mind is becoming empty, and then be in the state of emptiness. That emptiness is energy. You may have sensation, you may have movement of the body, we might have many, many other feelings in our body. And if you experience any of them, be a witness to them. Do not interpret. If you have thoughts while you're observing the breath, slowly going to emptiness, but suddenly thoughts come. And if you have thoughts, attention back to the breath again and again, observe, friends, and then slowly go into the emptiness and then be there. That's called breath mindfulness meditation. We're practicing maximum amount of time that we follow that we practice the technique. Before we go into that process, that technique, we are doing something called a heart elevation process to lift ourselves into a better mood and then also slow down our brain to remove all the stressful thoughts. A short heart elevation process we're going to do for 5 minutes. Just follow my guidance for that. And then we go into this breath mindfulness meditation for a long time. Towards the end, we express gratitude with our eyes closed. I will guide. Just express gratitude to everything. To stay in positive modes. And then we come out. Relax yourself deep and sit comfortably. Relax your body. We and slowly let's go into breath mindfulness meditation with your eyes closed, fingers into fingers, resting your hands comfortably in your lap. Observe your normal, natural in breath and the out breath. When we observe our breath, the mind becomes empty. As the mind is becoming empty, we experience that greater emptiness, that quantum field of energy. Be with your breath. It is natural to have thought. When you recognize that you are in thought, go back to observing your breath and allow yourself to become empty of all thoughts in your mind. As our mind is becoming empty, we channelize all the liberated energy into the generous present moment. We allow our body to function at its natural best. We increase the power of thought. Al- Allow yourself Merge into your breath and allow yourself to experience that emptiness inside of you, all around you. When you empty your mind of all thought, you experience that greater emptiness, that blackness, that void. Become aware of that emptiness. Become aware of that emptiness inside of you, all around you. All emptiness is energy. This is that infinite quantum field of energy with limitless possibilities. The longer you stay aware of this emptiness, this energy, the more you receive from it. The more clearer you become and open you become. Merge into that emptiness of yourself, your greater intelligence. Tell yourself to go deeper and deeper. Merge into that emptiness and allow yourself to experience that wholeness where everybody and everything are connected. body. Feel your body. Recollect your experiences from the session. And whenever you're ready, keep your hands on your eyes for 5 seconds, and then you may open your eyes. Okay, dear friends. Hope you enjoyed the session. You raise your hand, Gayatri Ma'am.
Good morning, sir.
Yes, good morning.
Sir, nowadays I'm experiencing very well, sir, but I can able to sit for a long time. But only thing is, I keep on shaking my head, body, hands, everything, sir. Continuously, I can't able to hold myself in a one position, sir. But I don't open my eyes. Keep concentrating on breath. As you said, thoughts are coming and going, sir, eventually. And I am trying to concentrate on my breath, but feeling little bit difficult to hold on myself.
The head spinning or shaking
Yes, sir.
is a common experience of meditation.
Okay.
So what you have to do is to let it continue.
Okay.
You continue.
Okay.
Very common.
Okay, sir.
You can stay for a long time.
Oh.
Right. But the process of meditation is happening. So you just continue because it's an energy
Okay.
experience.
Oh.
One of the very common experiences, people shaking head or rotating head and then body moving. All
Yes,
these are
sir.
common. You
Every
already
time I
got it.
might. Yes, sir.
You already got
Comforting
it.
myself, sir.
Supporting me? What are you doing?
Sir, comforting myself, sir.
Comforting yourself. Okay.
Yes.
I mean, that time you continue. Be in that state. Don't come out
Okay,
of
sir.
meditation. That's what you said, right? Keep your eyes closed and then continue. Avoid analyzing. Get used to that thing.
Okay.
Get used to that and avoid analyzing and then be in that. You know that something is happening. And then I just want you to be aware of that much.
Okay, sir.
Nothing more, right? Anything
Okay.
more means, you're analyzing now. How
Hmm.
fast is rotating, how fast shaking, will I fall down, what happens to this, all that, right?
Yes,
So
sir.
just be in that state and then be a witness to what's happening. Okay, something strange, new is happening. So let me be a witness to it, right?
Okay. Okay, sir. Okay.
It's common and it happens. You are into an empty state, and so then the energy experience, so then it's coming through experience of energy in many ways, and this is one way.
Okay, sir.
You will experience. But after a few days, this will disappear, this will go away. But sometimes
Okay.
it might come, but initially it's more often people are saying this. Okay.
Thank you very much, sir.
Okay. All right, friends. Wanted to understanding how this demystifying a bit of consciousness. What is consciousness? Or what is that omnipotence? Are we that? And then if thoughts create reality, is it happening? Some of these can be understood through the understanding of a bit of quantum physics principles now. Many people who are successful have done one thing, and then the one thing is that they've stayed on top of what they always wanted. They stayed on top of their goal, they dreamt about it, they visualized about it, they felt that this is happening for me, this is certain to happen, they pursued it. With perseverance, they pursued it no matter what the current situation is. The way to understand that is that they kept their attention on it. Successful business leaders keep their attention on their targets, their goals, the company's long-term vision. They do not get succumbed to the current challenges. But when you analyze in quantum field terms, it is saying, quantum physics terms, it's saying that you're putting your attention on something, that something must come into your life. It's called manifestation. Spiritually speaking, it's called manifestation. You manifest things. Meditation is helping us become very empathetic. When you go into meditation, there is something, and when people come out of it after a few days, they seem to be more considerate, more accommodating, more empathetic. They seem to want to help others naturally. So what is happening here? How is that you explain that? Why suddenly, when you go into meditation, you become that person? Some answers could be found through this quantum physics model of understanding. So let me put up these slides. The quantum physicists who are essentially looking into everything that exists out there, looking into everything out there at a deep, at micro level. Micro means go deeper inside. Micro, nano level, they're going further inside. Smallest. What is this universe made up of? Then you have to go deep into every object, every material, every matter, including human body. You got to go deep inside. And so when they're spending their time in the deep inside world, meaning at a micro level, at a nano level, when they're spending their time at that level, so what they're finding is that whatever that we think is real is not really real. It's not real. Whatever we think, the matter that we see, the persons that we see, the people, places, everything they're saying that we see are not real. That's Neil Bohr in quantum physics view, or rather his observation, which is You go and then look at some quotes from any quantum physics, they'll all point to that. Albert Einstein said, our reality that we are saying is uncertain. Then he tried to be a little more specific. Neil Bohr said, what we experience as matter, the material self, is not real. It might sound, it might ring, or you might recollect some things from what you were, depending on which religion you grew up, about everything is illusion, Maya. Not real. Maya is illusion. It's only your illusion of what you see. So everything is not real. Okay, so what's not real? So maybe it's illusion, right? So that's how you can come to. Now, what quantum Einstein is saying is what we think is real, the reality is uncertain. In our daily life, whatever that we are experiencing is uncertain. There is so much of uncertainty. I think from a common sense perspective, we can probably understand this. There's a lot of uncertainty, right? That through Newtonian physics, Newtonian principles of laws of gravity and all of that, you can, it tries to make everything predictable. So if I take a vehicle, and if a car is going at a certain speed, it's got certain momentum and it's going at that speed, and considering that you don't put acceleration anymore, and then you say that, okay, this car is going to go and then stop at a certain distance after some time, because going at a certain speed, it's got certain momentum, and so then it's going to be stopping after some time if there is no acceleration given. Predictable. But then there is so much uncertainty in that predictability. If the car is going in Bangalore, Bellandur Road, suddenly there can be floods coming, water can come, and so it can suddenly slow down significantly. It might even change its direction, it might start floating now. Uncertainty is there, that from any direction, anything can come and change its speed, direction. So Einstein said, that is at a macro level, we understand at a common sense perspective, but at a micro level, at the quantum level, they figured that things are uncertain because what they're seeing, my friends, is that whatever that we think is matter, they're seeing it as energy deep inside. Deep inside, as they go went deeper into the atoms and molecules to atoms and further inside, they're not finding anything solid out there by default. They're finding it's all energy. And that energy is behaving randomly. There is a certain random nature to it. Random nature means it's a possibility. When you are taking a random counter, the best equivalent of that is any game that is played randomly, right? You take a pack of cards and then randomly picking up a card. What is the possibility of you getting spade 7? You add certain possibility of 1 by 52. There are 52 cards, 1 by 52 is a possibility. Possibility of getting spade 7 could be 1 by 52. So everything is by default energy, not matter, and it's all there. And then so quantum field saying it's all possibilities. So it's uncertain what is going to be there when. Reality cannot be very, very certain. You can't say it is certain. It can't say it's predictable. We try to predictable. But in life, there's so much unpredictability is there. All kinds of things. Where are we going? Quantum physics, the 3 principles that there are many, many things from the quantum physics: energy, non-linear, non-local, and aspects. But some aspects that are relevant here to explain. If thoughts and feelings create a reality, if you as a business leader, if you as an individual wanting to get something to your life, and then if it has been consistently observed that those who kept their attention on things that they really want and they're manifesting, They're creating it, which we call focus in business language. Hey, you get focused on things that you really want, and then you're typically going and then manifesting it. You're able to reach your target. You stay focused. But then there are several other things that are coming into play, even though many times we're focused, sometimes not happening, because then our attention maybe at times unknowingly is getting distracted. But from quantum physics, let's try to understand if there is a scientific way of explaining why people put their attention or are constantly focused on something, they have better chance or more chance of creating that. They are less matter, more energy. We are unlimited possibilities and potential. And observation manifests the possibilities. There are three principles from the quantum physics that we understand, which deal with the matter, the laws of creation. So here in this picture, you see one atom on the left side with the center nucleus and some orbit for electrons. And then you see here some wave, some energy wave, some visual illustration. Deep inside, from a quantum physics perspective, and which we have read this, everything is made up of subatomic particles. Atoms are broken down. A body, if you take a body, and then body is broken, body is made up of organs are made up of many cells, skin cells, liver cells, and the cells are made up of many molecules, chemicals. Basically, the chemicals are composite elements called molecules, like water, acid, salt, and your enzymes are many, many things, right? The neuropeptides. They're all there, and then you break them down, the molecule becomes atom. Atom becomes electron, neutron, and then they found a lot of emptiness there. So when they look deep inside an atom, they found that it is practically empty. 99.9999, so many lines of emptiness. They found it's all empty. It's not, there's no material substance that's all empty and filled with energy. And energy is wave. And so they define this concept of quantum energy field, which is a big field of energy waves everywhere. If 99.99% is rounded off, that's near 100. And so 100%, an atom is empty, and emptiness is energy. That energy has a behavior of wave, and that also they found that that energy is oscillating beyond speed of light and is also influenced by thought. That's all information, that energy, frequency is information. Everything is a wave, is frequency, is information. You codify things into it. Sound waves, TV waves. Everything is information. At a certain frequency, you are receiving, right? So TV wave, a frequency, and then decode it, then it translated into imagery. Radio waves, frequency. Sound waves, frequency, decoded or translated into sound, music of different kind based on the frequency, right? So everything is energy. Energy is frequency wave. That means it's information, it's codified. Spiritually speaking, that's your akashic. All experiences, your the vasana, the karmic balance, are the things that we've done, are all our experiences. Somewhere they have to get stored. The memories, everything is out there. That field, all atoms, when they're broken down, practically is all emptiness and it's all energy, is a wave. That means its frequency, it's got information in it. Stored. So it's a big field of energy waves everywhere, interconnected with each other. So you take waves, And the waves are there. I mean, you take waves as waves, like, sea waves, right? When the waves are there, take a river, you have waves, and the waves are there. If the waves are coming, the waves, when they meet each other, they cancel at some places, they align at another places. It's called top of the wave, bottom of the wave. If two waves come, like, you experience it quite a bit in the sea when you go to the beach. A wave is coming from the sea, while another wave, once it hits the shore, goes back as another wave, right? It goes back towards the sea, into the sea, one wave coming from the sea. Now you are there, perhaps, let's say, about 200 feet inside the beach, with water. You're waiting for the next wave to come, and you're observing it, and you say, oh, this time it's going to be big, big, big. But then as it comes nearby, suddenly it becomes, what you thought is big, it's not that big, because the opposite wave from the shore went and then hit it, and they merged, and then so it became smaller. So the top of one wave and then met the bottom of another wave, they cancel. So depending on where they hit each other, so it actually can reduce in intensity. But sometimes when you say, hey, this is a small wave only, it's coming to you, but suddenly it becomes big. That's why it's dangerous in sea. That wave becomes big because the opposite side from the beach, what's coming, and both tops meet, and then it becomes quite big. It's a big field of energy, and now the waves are hitting each other, so they're becoming one wave, one big field. So dear friends, you are energy and I am energy, and everything out there in this field, in this universe, is energy by default, because atom is energy. The atom is energy. Our body, full of trillions of atoms, is energy. And so we're all energy fields, walking energy fields. Spiritual science fundamentally considers this energy body. We have physical body, there's an energy body, but at quantum physics, we're all energy by default. And so there's energy is there first. Dealing with each of us, there is some energy. Some places it is dense, some places it is sparse. Dense energy, and then more less dense, just there. There's some places dense. Wherever we are there, we are dense in the field. You can think of like a world map, right? When we draw a world map, the sea is always shown as, something empty, right? And so you have different continents and countries are there. So it's like dense here and there, the matter, and everything else is shown as empty. So think of that as a quantum field. The whole field is like that, right? Wherever people are there, wherever objects are there, dense, and when it's not there, it's all totally empty. But inside the objects, inside everywhere, it's still fully empty anyway. But the point is, we're all a connected big energy field. So that is a consciousness. That's where we're all connected. When two waves meet, they become one. The sea wave became one. You can't separate it. When two light sources come together, it becomes one single light. You can't separate it. One red light and a blue light becomes some other color. And the two people, with a loving person, a compassionate person, because their energy, depending on what they're producing from their state of being, and so then they come, you have another type of personality here, a group of loving people, kind people come together, you've got a loving kindness group there, that energy field. And so vice versa, and the same way, people who are aggressive, dominant, come meet, so they become collectively a lot more dominant. Because it's simply energy, and then waves come together, become top of it, right? So dear friends, we all are connected fundamentally. One big field of energy. So we are, by default, deep inside that energy. In our meditation every day, we are experiencing that energy. That energy as a whole, where we're interconnected with each other. We connected with each other, we experience that energy as a whole. And we are connecting to that thing by dropping our differences. We do this heart elevation, or when you're emptying your mind, all those unwanted thoughts, all that miserable, all that frustrating, angry, dominant thoughts go away. Everything is empty, so nothing is there. Now with that, we are becoming one with this. Then we feel, think of this. However aggressive, however day was, when you come home, relaxing in your gut, and you see there is peace. Now you as an individual entity, one unit of peace, units of peace, you feel peaceful, you feel calm, because you experience this energy as a whole in their emptiness. So this whole feeling that we become one with this whole, when you come out, then invariably you have such a huge peacefulness inside you, then it is not possible for you to be very considerate to others than to be again going back to dominating, unless the thoughts come back again. How does it come? Then somewhere somebody else who is still dominant is coming and then influencing you in the day-to-day. That newspaper comes and says so many people killed again, bring our memories back, and so we go back to becoming violent or becoming angry with people or places. Environment influences us. First part of it, big field of energy waves, they interconnect with each other. Then the second part, at subatomic particle level, everything is both wave and particle, leading to many possibilities. Because now the second thing they understood is that 0.01% electrons, neutrons, what we thought they're there, they understood that they too are actually behaving as energy by default. I was trying to allude to what Amit Goswami was telling me in that lecture, that electrons and neutrons also, which are there deep inside an atom, those also, even though they're thought particles, they're actually energy by default. So they're wave by default. So what we thought matter is also a wave. So now you have this big set of field in that everything is wave, everything is energy. And so now when you want something from this field where it's all deeply connected, when you want an experience, what is an experience? You're taking your electrons, my electrons, and two people have to come together and go dine. And so both of them coming together, their electrons of each of them, the neutrons of each of them, because everything else is the rest is emptiness, energy. So now that comes together, observed on it, and so it becomes an experience of matter, both of them together. And then they'll pick a restaurant, and they got to have the restaurant's electrons and neutrons coming together to find that restaurant. They go by a vehicle, the vehicle's electrons, neutrons coming together. You might have 5 vehicles, depending on what you choose, what you observe, that's what you use. It's an experience is taking a combination of a subatomic particle matter, subatomic particles, and then bring them into the physicality. Now, how is it becoming physical? When observed, a subatomic particle is becoming matter when observed. The experimentation, called double-slit experimentation, it becomes matter when observed. So 3 principles. One is we are a big field of energy. With less matter, more energy. That energy is a big field of energy. Number 2 is that now in this field of energy, when it is a big field of energy and everything is energy, then in energy, it is there anywhere. I tried to explain in the beginning, an electron is energy. That means it as an energy, it is there anywhere in this room and everywhere it is spread out. And so the combination, now in this case, when you are all are a big field of energy, how many combinations of things we can take and then physically create any number of combinations. That's called infinite possibility. What combination of life experience you can have any number of combinations. I can fundamentally, in this Buddhist quantum foundation, in our work, we can say we want to next one will attract 10 people from Russia, and then 15 from America, and then 10 from India. And then we put all of them together, and then we will have a meditation event for them. You say, yes, it's possible, because we know it's possible. If I work for it, it's possible, right? I have to work with friends and friends and friends to bring about some 10 people from there, 10 from here, and then that event is possible. But what quantum physics is saying is that everything is happening in energy. When you're putting your attention, where you observe, that particle becomes matter. Everything is created through your intention or observation. Things exist as energy by default. Nothing is matter by default, but then we are creating them into the matter through observation. We're going to understand this a little more deeply in the next class through that experiment. To understand a little more than normally we understand this concept of Newtonian physics and quantum physics, and apply this to particularly health in the next class. But to understand that we are all this big energy field, one field. So in everyday meditation, we're experiencing if that one field of energy with infinite possibilities is equal to your consciousness, or the God, or whatever that you want to call it. And so then it is there. We are, by default, being intricately connected to this field of energy, are not separable. And so we are that. We are that field. Inseparable field, we are that field. And then where do we exist? We exist everywhere. As an energy field, we exist everywhere. And what is the potential? Unlimited potential, because there are any number of possibilities or combinations exist to bring them into physicality. How do we bring it? Observation. We'll look at that experiment in the next session. Thank you very much. And understanding, because this understanding is directly can be translated and applied, the principles can be applied, that I have unlimited potential and my thoughts and feelings, my observation creates reality. So where do you apply? Apply in your health, apply in your relationships, apply in your business growth, apply in your spiritual growth, whatever that you want to do, we apply it. Your service work in socially, we can apply that. My observation creates things. And can I put my observation on what I want? That's all it is. If I have unlimited potential, can I put my observation on what I want? And what are the ways that I can put my observation? Of course, meditation is a great way. And then we learn during the course of this program other things like beliefs, which are stopping us from being able to put our attention fully onto what we want. Ramesh, are you there? Any announcements?
Yes, sir. Good morning, friends and masters. Thank you, sir, for the great session today. And so book clubs are starting today. It's at 8:15. It will start at 8:15 to 9:15. So we are reading Mind to Matter book today. So whoever is registered, please join. If you're not registered, so please register and join. It will start at 8:15. Thank you.
Mind to Matter is a wonderful book. This book, right, is the books of the decade. The most recent book that explains in beautiful, in simple terms, all the scientific experimentation about some of the subjects that we just learned. That everything is energy. That water is energy. Water has a signature, it has a frequency. Every individual has a frequency. We learn some of this through this book club. It's an amazing way of knowing this, so that we start thinking energy. Thinking energy is thought. We start creating things through thought. By default, we have to solve a problem. We try to reach out to the people directly and then do it. But this new model is saying a thing can create right here through energy, because energy becomes matter faster. Dr. Joe Dispenza calls it energy to matter. Matter to matter is tough. Energy to matter is so easy. We'll know more of this. So thank you, Ramesh. So thank you all, dear friends. As always, we'll stay here for some more time to take any questions on the subject. Otherwise, we'll see you tomorrow at 6 a.m. again. Thank you. And I saw somebody writing about an experience. It'll be good to hear from you. Yes, in the chat I saw someone writing experience.
We are angels. We are all angels who only have one wing. All angels searching for each other. All angels who cannot reach the sky. 'Cause we need each other to fly. My life gets so busy, time goes by so fast. I rush through the day trying to make each moment last.
Yes, Mr. Shankara.
Good morning, sir. Good morning, masters. It's been a 1 week for me in this journey. I just want to say thanks for you, sir. This is amazing sessions we're having on daily. And so yesterday, Amavasya, as I heard that many people meditate in that Amavasya meditation. Yesterday night, I sat for more than an hour and had a very fantastic experience. Like observe, like whenever you asked, you started the heart elevation, right? When I hold my hand to my heart, so a little bit felt pain at the center of the heart. I'm not sure that is kind of energy that's flowing in. After that, when I try to be myself, like focus on my breath, right? So I used to have so much of heaviness on my head. And after that, I try to, I just, whenever I felt like that, I thought of like, I bring back to my focus to breath. So at one point of time, I reached the level, I don't have, I have folded my hands, I've crossed my legs. Nothing was there. It was completely blank. So I'm not sure how long I have to carry that. Again, some distraction happened. Like I try to go back that situation. So how long I have to focus on that? So, and one more question. So if you say like you avoid unwanted thoughts. So if I get any thought, wanted thought, if I can say, recently I'm bothering very much on my promotion. So I was thinking. In meditation, if that comes in, and if I start thinking how I want to correct myself if anything is wrong from my side. So do I want to continue to interpret that? I should just ignore that.
Okay, so you observed many and you asked many questions here. So let's try to talk about one by one, right?
Sure, sir.
So you're feeling that energy. You're going into the empty state, so there is energy. You're experiencing something beyond the body. You're not creating that pain. All you're doing is observing the breath. And so then there is something happening into the body, right? And you explain that in two ways. Three things you said. One is there is a little bit of pain. You felt pain. The second, you said your head is heavy. Third, you said is that after a while, then I just did not know, you could not feel your body, right? When we are emptying our mind of thought, then we are letting go of matter. And so the body also naturally may not be felt anymore. Okay, when you're letting go of your matter, the letting go of your body itself, so you may not feel it anymore. The sensory perceptions themselves are not there anymore for you to feel because all that is not there. Your mind over matter. So it's not there, and so you find that you are somewhere there. That awareness is not sitting in the brain. So through awareness, you find that you're somewhere there. which is possible. That's the whole idea of meditation, is to let go of all matter, let go of everything, and then be in that awareness state. And awareness is this emptiness. What I was just talking about earlier, in this quantum field, there is little matter and everything is energy. And so let go of the matter, so you become that truly energy. And so you end up floating in that energy field. You're floating in that energy field, so you're not aware of yourself. That is one state possible. Another thing that's happening is that this field of energy, in that, physically speaking, the pineal gland, energy, and through energy speaking, the third eye chakra, the Ajna chakra, the point where there's energy tubes come together, that part is active a little bit. That part is active, and so there is a lot of receival going on. There is some research around this. But we all know that in meditation we receive. One call it receiving energy, another call it receiving information frequency. So there is this thing happening to the head area, particularly because of this thing called pineal gland active, physically speaking, or the third eye center getting active. And so there is information, energy, information is signal, energy received. And so in general, there is a sense of, there are a lot of sensations here at eyebrows, and there is this head being heavy, there's all kinds of energy, and you feel a little bit of, somewhere there. You feel some kind of heaviness or energy or dizzy, not dizziness exactly, but you're like a zombie with respect to the head is concerned. Not sure exactly what's going on. So that is second thing, what's happening in meditation. Because when you are emptying yourself, this part seems to get active. This is scanning. This part is connecting into the field of emptiness, and it's scanning everything. It's called mystical energy. Mystical, being aware of everything out there. So you scan into this field. It's tuning into the field. Like a TV antenna you have, you tune in with the remote, then it is, but TV antenna is receiving everything. Antenna is equal to receiving everything. So it's, at that point, this pineal gland is becoming antenna, so receiving energy information. And later you filter it, what is required. Pain is, it's common that people are experiencing, when we are experiencing energy, that energy that is received tremendously is going and clearing the blocks. And so there is some kind of potential plane, and there is a good thing. Normally what comes in meditation goes, and they're all always good, because all you're doing is observing the breath. Nothing harmful that you're doing. And so it'll come and go. It is typically considered an energy experience. So you are fine, you're good, continue. Now, how long? Now you said another thing. You asked us to remove the unwanted thought. No, I said remove all thought.
Okay.
Meditation, we remove all thought. How do we remove? We don't try to remove it. Instead, we observe our breath. When you observe your breath, then mind becomes empty. All thoughts are removed automatically over a period of time. So during the process of meditation, mind is becoming empty. So all thoughts go. Right? All thoughts go. Not only the unwanted thought. Everything, you're emptying the whole thing, so that your goal is to become totally empty and then be part of this field out of energy, the possibilities. Then you start receiving information related to the possibilities. Okay. How long to do? I mean, when you are there in this empty state, it is not in your control anymore. The thoughts are random thoughts of the mind. Due to many things, it can come back. Suddenly some honk is there, suddenly some sound is there. That's why we say become quiet room, so that external distractions are limited. When there are no external distractions, then you're generally in there, but still mind as mind, it is coming in, bringing more thoughts from there. Distractions are always there, right? Depending on the body state at that point. And so we go back into suddenly distractions come, not something you can control. You can control by keep improving your practice, right? Different musics you could try, duration of meditation, in nature meditation, in pyramid meditation. All of these will take you to more deeper states and longer empty states, right? Group meditation here. Those are the ways you can help to increase that empty state. We can't really control that thing. When distractions come, they come. And then you observe the breath again. Okay?
Sir, we have Kavita Gopinan ji. Please unmute yourself.
Yeah,
Can't hear you, madam.
Chandra, can you hear me now?
Okay. I thought doctor, yes. Yes,
So,
Kavita, namaste.
Chandra, it's a beautiful, beautiful thing what you're doing this 40 days. And I'm so glad you have added this heart gratitude in the beginning, because this was always a problem for me. I have been practicing this heartfulness practice, and then I was not able to see how I can do the breath practice. But with this heart meditation in the beginning, I'm able to do this breath practice very nicely, and it goes to a very deep level. So thank you very much for that addition. The second thing I wanted to ask you is that, in spite of being a meditator for so many years, I'm still having thoughts during my sessions of meditation. So today I tried to also kind of get into that energy of Soham. So I was kind of, when I was getting the thoughts, I was chanting or saying Soham, and feeling that energy, that is me, or thou art me, that kind of a feeling. So is that a good thing?
Kavita ji, so we are practicing Ana-Pana-Sati.
Yes.
Ana-Pana-Sati, you know very well, where there's no sound,
Yes.
no of anything, right? We're only moving our attention away from a thought.
Right.
Attention away from a thought. And now the more I understand it, quantum physics, we know how it exactly beautifully is working, because where you place your attention is where you place your energy. And so then it becomes bigger, right? And so then here in Ana-Pana-Sati, we are moving our attention away from the thought towards something else. Something else is that thing that exists all the time with us, subtly. Also, our thoughts will come down. So I'm super convinced that this technique is an absolutely brilliant technique to bring your thoughts down to zero fairly quickly. And no wonder why Gautama Buddha's technique became so popular worldwide. Anything else, in my understanding and my view, is putting a thought into it. And normally when we do that, and slowly over a period of time, we forget the act of doing it, and so we go into empty state. We're narrowing down our attention to one thing, and the one thing will disappear at some point, and so we become empty, right? Breath meditation is also the same. Ana-Pana-Sati is also the same. We're narrowing down our attention to one thing, observing the breath. But we move away from a thought, any thought of having anything, any thought, we move away to breath. But breath is so intricate, it is there, but it's not there, right? And so it's not something you think, it's there with you, right? Everything else that you have to actually think about that as an object, as an entity. But breath is there by default.
Okay.
And so yes.
Like even feeling the Soham is not a good, I'm not chanting it, but I'm just feeling that. That is also.
Since I've not practiced Soham, so I'm not able to tell you how powerful or not powerful. I practice TM meditation, and then when I compare that with this, I find it easy. I practice some kriyas, and then with that I find Ana-Pana-Sati easy. Okay. So not judging, but what I'm saying is that scientifically speaking, technically, this technique that we follow, practice, appeals to me greatly, because your objective is to empty the mind of thought so that we let go of the matter, and so then we move away from the thought of any kind, right? And thought of bringing Soham into mind, the thought of any kind, to attention to the breath. And then breath is special because it is non-existent to us, because it is there with us, but we always don't remember. And so it makes it easy for us to forget about it much quicker and much easy, gentle, it's subtle. It's also slowly becoming non-existent as you observe it. And so I find it powerful. So what I'm trying to say is, why don't you practice this one? And
Okay.
let go of the Soham and then practice this for 40 days and see how you find the practice to be a lot more deeper, right?
Yeah. Wonderful sessions, Chandra. Thank you so much for it. Really, really.
Thank you, Dr. Kavitaji.
We have Rita, ma'am. Please go ahead, ma'am.
Hello, everybody. Chandraji, I just wanted to share my experience this morning that I had of meditation.
Yes.
It was, during, when we were in that state of emptiness and that darkness. I don't know at which point, don't ask me that. But then, like the elevated emotions just rushed into me, happiness, gratitude, satisfaction, acceptance, appreciation. I just got all those feelings into me and it just felt so wonderful. You have no idea. And it was just a flash, but I just got it, And you have told me not to analyze. Sridhar has told me to be always open with my meditation. So, I just enjoyed those feelings. And at the end of it, when you told us to express gratitude, it was along with all the gratitude you said, I just had to say gratitude to the new me. And the way I stepped out, it was so wonderful and strange also. It's not vision or anything I have seen. It's just these feelings that I went through, And I said, I just must share it,
Let's all congratulate Rita ji. Everybody, all of us congratulate Rita ji for experience,
Thank you.
that wholeness experience, the bliss experience, that you feel it. I have no idea how you felt it. There's no way I can know about how you felt it. None of us can know.
No, you told me that in my first session. Don't analyze, just observe.
Yes. So when we hit it, we hit that spot. Don't know when it happens, but it does happen. But when we hit the spot, we are there. And we are there that we experience it like never before. And you can't put words to it.
No.
Yes or no? Yes or no?
No, you can't put words to it. The way the heart opened and accepts everything. It was just wonderful. It was just wonderful. I haven't had visions or anything of that kind, It was, I just can't express myself. But it was good. It was good.
How can you express infinite?
No.
Unlimited. Before. And it matters so little to explain it because all we can explain is in terms of what we understood, what we learned. What we learned is what I try to explain. It's so limited.
Yes.
What will you compare that happiness with? Is it as good as just being in a nature? Is it as good as having a rasgulla? Everything is so finite. Everything is so finite. So you can't. As having the jackpot or suddenly a big bank balance, did you ever feel that happiness? No, there's no way you can compare it. It's minuscule. All these are minuscule compared to what you experienced it. I'm sure many people have done this. And I had my own shares of those moments and meditations where you don't feel like coming out, right? Somebody also wrote in the chat today that they have felt that experience, right? Great. Thank you, Rita ji.
Thank you so much. My gratitude to you and all the other senior masters, who have guided me. Sridhar especially. He's been in on my sharings and he's always guided me on the rare occasions that I have done my sharings.
Wonderful.
So
That's
thank
nice.
you all so much. Thank
All
you.
right. Thank you. Thank you, dear friends. Experience like this, then we know that why we're meditating. When we have those experiences, everything else seems so minuscule, and so then it becomes so natural to accommodate things, right? To accommodate things. Thank you all. We'll meet you all tomorrow at 6. Thank you.
Healthy, wealthy, and wise. Happy, healthy, wealthy, and wise. And I know the light of love is shining in my eyes. I am happy, healthy, wealthy, and wise. Yes, I am. I am happy, healthy, wealthy, and wise. Happy, healthy, wealthy, and wise. And I know the light of love is shining in my eyes. I am happy, healthy, wealthy, and wise. A little birdie told me that life is
Bye,
so
everyone.
sweet.
Thank you.
As I listen to her song, I know I am complete. I have all the keys.
You all tomorrow morning, 6 a.m. ST. Have a great day. Thank you.